We had a Miz TV segment with Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and all the members of their respective teams from the Smackdown roster. The Raw guys were all missing. Chad Gable was out there dressed like something out of fucking Space Jam. What a travesty. You know, and I read the interview that he gave to the Sports Illustrated reporter. He was talking about how he had to come to realize, it took him a while to realize that WWE, it's not just a wrestling company. It's not a wrestling company. It's an entertainment company. We have to entertain. Oh, this is very entertaining. Please continue. Please continue to entertain me with this Chad Gable stuff that you're doing. But he had to realize it's an entertainment company. He said he was pitching ideas left and right for months to Vince McMahon, knocking on his door, going into his office, coming up with pitch after pitch after pitch. Because they weren't doing anything with him. They split him up from Jason Jordan, which he hated. He loved teaming with Jason Jordan. When they split their team up, he knew he was dead in the water. You know, the team with him and Shelton, which was kind of like the backup team. That didn't last for very long. So he's pitching ideas left and right to Vince McMahon. They never accepted any of his ideas. But it showed that he had drive. You know, I guess he felt, well, it finally broke through, and it showed them that I want to be a team player. This is their idea that they came up with for him. I would love to know what some of those ideas were that Gable came up with, just to compare. Maybe he came up with stuff that's worse. I find that very hard to believe. You know, some of those ideas he must have come up with were better than this shit. But this is what they came up with for him. He is out there in this promo talking about how I accept who I am. And I'm proud of who I am. You accept who you are? What are you coming out of the closet? This is not that deep, dude. You're 5'8". They make it sound like this is some sort of great social commentary. The only people who ever said anything about this man's height were in WWE. And now he totes the company line in these interviews like a good little soldier. You know what? Whatever he has to do. Whatever he has to do, I guess, to get TV time. I'm happy he's at least getting that. But watching him out there dressed like a Harlem Globetrotter, it hurt my heart. It hurt my heart to see that. He's got terrible gear. He's got an even more terrible name, which I refuse to say. But he can work. This guy's an Olympian. He can wrestle. And he's got a personality. We just haven't had a chance to really see it yet. So I think he can get this stupid gimmick over. I do. But if he gets it over, it's going to be in spite of Vince McMahon, not because of him. And if he doesn't, and they get bored with him after a few weeks, well, you know, at least the guy has options outside the company if he ever wants to pursue them. Monday Night Raw's Rey Mysterio showed up on Smackdown with Cain Velasquez for a face-to-face with Brock Lesnar. Lesnar and Paul Heyman, instead of coming down to the ring, they showed up on the Titantron. And when the camera panned out, we saw Eddie's son Dominic on the ground having been beaten up again by Brock Lesnar. Rey and Cain, they headed to the back. We then got a scene in the back with a medic checking on Dominic, Rey, Cain Velasquez. They're very concerned. They're hovering around. And the medic kept asking them to give him space. Give me some space. I need some space. He said this over and over and over to the point where if it were me, he would have been the one in need of a medic. Give me some space. I need some space. You know, the U.S. is sending astronauts back to the moon in 2 years. This guy's not a Make-A-Wish kid, but I hope he gets his wish and they strap a rocket to his back and they send him to the moon. That way he'll have all the space he needs.